with Top 9 and Team XO. But hey, we have already the next match in our hands. And I think this is a really cool storyline. Vatang, so far, I mean, they always made it so far in Clash Worlds. They nearly every single year were so consistent.
And they put on a show when they qualified. And we have Sincere Prayer coming in for Vatang to start this one off and looking to be using the Super Dragons, trying to take down Nick's base. Because, you know, Nick is an absolute just genius with air attacks, and he knows how to use them. Will he be able to stop the Super Dragons on this one?
Yeah, that's the big question. And we have again this approach where the Slammer is getting sent in from the other side of the town hall, which always looks so risky to me. But the goal of this attack is to have those heroes walk all the way into this town hall compartment. That's why he has the Warbreaker with him. But the question is, does he have enough power to push through this top side? Because the Slammer just now opened, and now there's a Dragon Rider to support those Super Dragons.
Wow, now he's relying on this heroes and the Queen to take out the Town Hall. And yes, that Town Hall has been secured as he walks his way far to the left side. And now the Super Dragons clear the core. The Scatter Shot goes down. RC's ability has been forced. And this is looking like a 3-star from Sincere for Vatang to pull this one off to start the war. GG. Nick's base will not be holding here today.
No, it does not. Those Super Dragons just overpowering that base like nothing. And especially I like this approach. This is something, if you are using Super Dragons or Legend Dragons or in general Dragons in Legends, this is something which you should for sure try to see and learn and watch from those pro players. Because this approach with the Slammer from the other side sometimes looks risky, but really when using those heroes really nicely to push into the Town Hall, it is just so incredibly strong because the Slammer is just so powerful to tank damage, maybe, I don't know, trigger some black mines, traps in general. So that's a really, really key thing to make your push of dragons or Super Dragons or whatever you're using even stronger. And this was showcased perfectly in this attack. And Vatang are going with 3 stars in the lead with their first attack.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned that it could be risky, right? You could be risking a 1-star going with that Stone Slammer, but it is a stronger attack in terms of having that Stone Slammer to move around and not just being used to take out a Town Hall. That's it. Because if your heroes can take that Town Hall down, then that opens up so many more possibilities in your attack to either using a blimp somewhere else in a different spot, using a Flame Flinger, using Stone Slammer. So many different things open up when you are able to secure the Town Hall with your heroes. But you have to think about the pathing. Will your heroes make their way there? If they did, we saw Sincere coming in with the beautiful triple, coming in with those Super Dragons. But now War and Glory is going to have to keep pace with Vatang. And they've played each other many times. These players on different teams all across the years. So let's see what the first attack with War and Glory is going to be doing.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they're coming up with. I mean, do we see the same approach like most of the teams so far are doing with using Electro Dragons, Super Dragons as one of the first attacks? We have seen that now from Queen Walkers in the beginning, with Stardrock coming in early. We have seen that later on with Team XO as well. So a lot of those teams are opting into the Super Dragons, Electro Dragon options early on to give some more planning time, because this is something you have to keep in mind. Those matches are not as your matches like your regular Clan War, 24-hour prep, 24-hour match time. This is not how it works. Those teams have around about 8 minutes of planning time. This is not a lot. This is not a lot, so especially if few of the best base builders in the world. It's not easy to only have those 8 minutes. So providing some more planning time with an easier attack, this is something which is really, really good. And we see exactly that. Nick is coming in. You have talked about him that he's good with those dragons as well. But he's choosing the Inferno Dragons.
He is indeed choosing those Inferno Dragons. I remember when I saw Nick when using these Inferno Dragons when they first came out. And when I saw the mass amount of Inferno Dragons like this being used, I was like, this is crazy. I didn't think it was possible to get 3-star like this, but he showed the strength of it and absolutely crushing bases. And let's see if he can do that here again with that King Queen off to the right side. Now he is investing this blimp for the Town Hall, right? It's not as strong, but it is a safer approach. The cloned up balloons, the Town Hall does go down. Now his heroes need to make their way all the way to the right, and his heroes need to stay alive for the whole raid to try to get as much value as possible.
Yeah, but take a look at this wave of Inferno Dragons. This is looking so good, pathing, funneling wise. He's doing a great job of that. And at this point, the Royal Champion is coming from the right side. There's only the defending Royal Champion left, hero-wise. We have talked about this. Heroes on defense are important to have them on the back end if you want to defend. And there is no heroes left. It's only the scatter shot, which is trying to shoot in every single direction at the same time. But that's not working. There's just so many troops, and he's just like doing something next to it, having the cat on the on his knees as well at the same time, and chilling while his troops are just completely overpowering the space.
Absolutely incredible there, Nick. Oh my goodness. Coming away with a beautiful 3-star. He doesn't even have to worry. He's just watching now as his heroes are going to finish this base off. And that is what I'm talking about. Nick is absolutely incredible air attacker, and he shows the strength here of the mass Inferno Dragons. We saw Marnal do the same for Space Station, and Nick is doing here for War and Glory, tying this war up. And now when it comes down to it, if the wars are tied exactly all to the stars and to percentage, it comes down to the average attack duration as the final tiebreaker. So if you come in with attacks that are faster than your opponent on average, then you'll win the war. So you have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's for sure. But at the same time, though, it is something which is not happening too often. Yeah, time to time.
Yeah.
But as I said, you sometimes have to keep that in mind when you're playing on this highest level. But either way, it was really cool to see him like getting the cat on, cat helping him to use the last few hero abilities, getting things done. But now we have again the next attacker from Vatang. So let's see if they're switching things up. And as we have guessed with the dragon type of attacks early, then it's something more fancier like Queen Charges or like Lalo attacks, Hog Rider attacks. We have seen those a couple of times already today as well. Seeing the Queen Charge Hog Rider, which is really cool as well, because it's not the most common attack strategy, but seeing them from time to time again is a really cool thing in the current meta.
Yeah, it's really awesome to see what these players can kind of come up with, right? Yeah, they can come in with the meta attacks in terms of with the Dragon Riders, the Super Dragons, things like that. But that's what a lot of these bases are built for. They're built to try to stop those types of attacks. And that's why you got to try to think outside the box and maybe think of what some of your opponent has not planned for or didn't see as a vulnerability in that base design. Granted, it is very difficult to do at this top level. We'll see what can they do next. We saw the triple from both sides here, but Vatang, can they answer with another 3-star is going to be the question.
That's the big question, especially because we're now moving like in the second kind of like trade bracket thing. Where we have now already the matchups for later on for the upper bracket and lower bracket. But this bottom bracket so far, we have not seen those teams. So seeing now Rallo from Vatang coming in with 2 Ice Hounds. And I know, Goblin, you're from time to time doing a lot of those Lado attacks as well. So can you explain more like when you're opting into those Ice Hounds and when do you use the Lava Hounds?
Well, the beautiful thing about the Ice Hound is it does do that freezing effect, meaning that if you're near potential multi-target Infernos, which we do see in air defense and a multi to the top side, it can freeze that splash damage as those balloons approach it, which means that you don't have to use free spells up there in that area. Plus, remember, when you get Ice Pups, those Ice Pups will also slow down every single defense or even enemy heroes that they are hitting. So it does do a nice little bonus there. We'll have to see what kind of value he can get as he's starting off with that Stone Slammer to the Air Expo, making his way straight into the Eagle Artillery to push his way around the base.
Yeah, the Slammer should getting pushed towards that core of that base where the Multi-Inferno Tower and the Sweeper are waiting for it. More Lalos coming on the right side, using the rage to push this group of loons into this scatter compartment, because what this does is it's pushing the first group of loons into the core. That's exactly what's happening right now. The Slammer moving in, tanking the red bombs, and now we have the ward ability. Beautiful. And take a look at that. As you have said, those air defense at the top side triggering that Ice Hound with beautiful freezes.
And he uses that heal spell to heal those balloons up. There's an additional freeze spell to be used. And look at the balloons. Those Ice Hounds provided beautiful protection as he made his way around so that the balloons on the back end are still alive with 2 more balloons to use. And we have a beautiful 3-star coming in with this Lalo with the Ice Hounds, which you actually don't see too often. You tend to see that Lava Hound because you can get those extra balloons. At the end of the day, if you take the 2 regular hounds, that's an extra 4 balloons that you could have to use to take out a small little section of the base and to absorb a few more traps, which can make the difference. But it's not here because it is a 3-star with just about 40 seconds left. And gorgeous attack again. You're gonna have to be putting the 3 stars on the board, putting up almost 14-star performances, as both of the winning teams so far here did in the first 2 wars, and they're keeping pace with that.
As you said, they're keeping the pace, and this is something which we have seen now over the time quite a bit. Like just the pressure game, especially coming later into those matches, is really important because, as you have said, it's like the one big tournament now for the start of the year, which means those teams are like newly coming in again from the winter break after last Clash Worlds, especially with a lot of roster changes for a lot of those teams, which means the communication might not be perfect. There might be some misunderstandings. So all of those things need to be considered. But so far, Vatang is looking strong. And exactly what we were expecting, what we were guessing about or like speculating about, with like having Dragon starts and then Lalo attacks after. The question now is, do we have the same thing on the War and Glory side, or do we have maybe some other approach to the entire match idea, or match understanding, or the match planning at this point?
Yeah, that's going to be another question we'll have to keep an eye on and answering between these two teams, Vatang and War and Glory, because they're trying to advance. Remember, this is a double elimination tournament. So if you lose these first set of matches, you still have an opportunity, and those next matches will be occurring next weekend, next Saturday and Sunday, because Sunday is when we're going to be crowning the champion of the $30,000 prize pool. But before we can get too far ahead of ourselves, we have to look at the next attack for Jethro of War and Glory, starting off with the Lightning to help take out a sweeper so it doesn't push him back, and sending in these Super Dragons off to the right. You know he's going to want to send that blimp towards this Town Hall and use that Warden ability to protect everything as he goes through.
Yeah, that's right. Is that a NATO trap, though? That's the main question. No, only a lot of red bombs. And this is something which is really common now. People are trying to defend those blimps with red bombs. And, well, those red bombs as well defending Town Hall charges. So, like, 2 things which you can defend with this setup. Oh, wait a second. This Lava Hound coming out is not good for him, because this means a lot of pups are distracting those Super Dragons while getting shot at from this air defense at the bottom side.
With air skellies popping up in the middle, but he did take out that single target inferno in the middle. Tesla goes down, freezes up the enemy world champion, but the Super Dragon dies off and not able to take her down. She has almost no health here, but can he still move his way through with just his heroes? He needs to clear the rest of the space with the enemy king full health. I just don't see the value. He can get it here.
Yeah, like one thing which I'm always hoping for is like that as soon as the builders repaired the expo, like switching to the Royal Champion. That would be so cool. Like, come on, those builder huts, or like those builders being able to repair heroes, that would be kind of funny. But it's sadly not happening. This means the Royal Champion is staying on those low hit points. And this means with this king on the back end, that's what we said. Heroes on the back end on defense is something really, really bad, because your heroes on offense are supposed to finish off the base, and that is not going to happen on this one. So this should be the first defense of this match, and Vatang getting in the early lead after 2 attacks each.
Yeah, warning. Beautiful defense here against the meta of the Super Dragons. Unfortunately, that Lava Hound pulls a bunch of the Super Dragons to the right side and not able to get this one here. Trying to get a little bit more. He's got a whole minute here to finish off the Archer onto that gold mine, because, you know, a 78% could make a difference, but it's a low percentage, meaning that Vatang, they just got to get higher if they do fail, and they'll still have the lead. Nice try to Jethro, but that's going to put him in a big deficit here going into the next set of attacks.
Yeah, that's right. And just seeing that the percentage is not as high. We have seen this now already with or with the first matches, that the percentage does matter as well. If you want to fail, like you never want to fail, right? But like if you might fail, you want to have those really high percentage, because otherwise it feels like you are not only 1 star behind, but 2 stars. Because as long as now Vatang is getting in higher 2-star fail, we consider it fails, which is above this 78%, they're still having the lead, even though they are the same star. So that's really important to note as well. So the Vatang is going in next. We might see another Lalo attack, because this last one was really, really beautiful to see, like just to watch how he used those Ice Hounds to make sure that those Inferno Towers, this scatter shot, had no chance of fighting back because they were non-stop frozen.
Yeah, indeed. We'll have to keep our eye on what they can do here. That 78%, the lower percentage here, meaning that Vatang, they have the advantage going into the next set of attacks, or even right now as well. Just pull away with 3 stars. Even like you said, the higher percent 2 stars will still have the advantage over War and Glory. And we'll see the winner of this match can still move on. We'll have then take on the winner of the next war that we'll see, which, I mean, just absolute incredible teams. I just can't wait to see the next hit here. Coming in with some more Super Dragons. PSW says, hey, I think I can break the pace down. You might not have been able to come in with a 3-star with Super Dragons, but I can do it against you, Jethro.
That's another question, if this is going to work. Finding the Tesla really early on, at least 2 of them. Let's see if there is some more Tesla in there. But the Queen getting targeted, that's not how the plan was looking like, I guess. Now the question is, how is that Queen pathing? Is she going for the Wizard Tower after? And this means the Super Dragons have to come in early. There's so many skeleton traps.
Yeah, with that Super Dragons. Oh, wait. Not popping the War Internal Tome just yet. He's waiting. There's the freeze onto the enemy Queen. The multi-target Inferno is down there with the blimp finally now coming across, but the Warden's going to get pushed. And the Warden Eternal Tome to protect this blimp. Yes, he does, but that sweeper is causing a little bit of an issue, but it finally goes down.
Yeah, it finally goes down. The blimp, again, a lot of red mice, but the blimp is making it to that Town Hall. Now with this, the Town Hall is going down within a couple of seconds. Even the Inferno Tower is falling as well. And this means, again, we have to take a look at the back-end heroes. We have 1 king, we have a scatter shot, which is still on that back-end, and the Expo as well. We had the Queen and the King already falling, if I see this correctly, which means only the Royal Champion can be used as reinforcement. And now he is sending that into that defending King. So now it's King versus Royal Champion. Who is going to take that win? And I think going to decide that attack.
Well, you got the Rage, you got a Poison, and he's got some free spells to use. There's on the Scatter and the Air Expo. The RC's ability has been forced. That King's got to slow down a lot. The King goes down. But you got 1 more free, and he pulls out the Lava Hound, though, which is going to be slowing this RC down now.
Oh no, the Lava Hound, the Clan Castle, which did not go down. And this Expo, take a look at that. 1 spear and this Expo would go down, but instead, the Royal Champion not targeting that. But the Super Dragon did. But he cannot lure that Lava Hound away. And this, I think, this means it's going to be a defense. It's a close one, but I think it should be a defense, depending on maybe some more air traps.
I mean, depending on air traps, but even though this is low health Super Dragon, and that goes down, and it is indeed a defense before the Super Dragon even locks onto the Hound. Man, nice try to PSW, but that, what we talked about, a 96% is going to be still keeping the advantage because of that lower percent that came in from Jethro of War and Glory. So Vatang still have the lead in this war, but it's only based on percentage, meaning that War and Glory are going to have to be getting the more stars, have to get at least 1 more triple in their final set of attacks.
Yeah, that's right. It's not an easy position to be in, but I mean, as you have said, all of those teams deserve to be here, so they have the mindset which is necessary to stay in those matches. We have seen there's now those crazy comebacks. I mean, especially the last match where since the beginning, Space Station were on the back foot and then coming back just with like non-stop 3 stars. Really, really cool and calm and collected. Now the question is, do we see this in this matchup as well? War and Glory need to get those 3 stars in and now like non-stop to make sure that they can crawl back into this match, and the percentage does not matter at the end of it.
Yeah, it won't matter if they have the star advantage there. That's the question that we have to also keep our eye on. Like every other question in this war, is what attack are they going to do? What are the defenses are they going to bring? Is it going to be rings? Is it going to be anti 3-star designs? Because we've seen the anti 2-star designs that from the Queen Walker Stephanie that helped a lot. But now we have Agent, who is bringing 7 lightning spells. And let's keep our eye on where the enemy queen is next to that multi-target in front of by the clan castle. Does he use it to take her down? And yes, queen multi, but no, doesn't grab the sweeper that is right there.
Yeah, the sweeper staying alive over there. Yes, 4 hounds. That's a lot. That's not something which is common. We see typically like 3 or 2 hounds, but seeing 4, that's a lot of tanking power, which is really surprising. So let's see how that's going to turn out. But so far, sending in the Royal Champion, sending in the King into that scatter compartment with the Queen getting forced into that town hall, which so far is looking really, really good. The question though now is, how are those heroes dealing with this clan castle? Because so far it seems like that this Royal Champion is taking a lot of damage.
Oh, wait, the king is pulling this Lava Hound over. No, the Lava Hound stays over by that Royal Champion, so she can take that out with a poison spell. Queen can secure the Town Hall here. Gonna burn her ability. Town Hall goes down. Hound finally is gonna pop here, taking out these lava pups. Beautiful poison, which drops on top of his Royal Champion, which covers all of the pups right there. Queen even grabs the single target Inferno as well.
Oh wow, that Queen really just like by a little bit dodging that Town of Poison. Now the Lalo. Is it worth it to bring so many hounds? That's the main question. We have now 3 hounds on 1 air defense. That's just crazy. This is so much tanking power, but 2 more hounds are popping, and this means only 1 hound is left at this point. Not catching it in the vulnerability, which means the hound is still like getting taken down quite quickly. Let's see it flying over and maybe triggering a couple of more traps.
It does. Yes, pulls a few red air bombs that would have been behind the town hall area, freezing up the back end air defense, the Tesla farm as well, and he's got tons of balloons. And Agent 33 of War and Glory is absolutely crushing Lancelotta's base here. Beautiful job. The 4 hounds provides the tanking, the distraction to keep him in and getting the triple for War and Glory. This was an absolute beautiful attack right there. You typically don't see that amount of lava hounds, but he brings it and it absolutely crushes the space.
Yeah, really nicely done. Just like the hero dive in the beginning, taking down the scatter, which was close to the town hall, taking down the town hall itself and creating this really beautiful pathing. So really nicely done to Agent, and that's exactly what we're talking about. This means the stars are tied again, and only the percentage being the current difference maker. So the Vatang is maybe feeling a bit more pressured again, and we have to wait what they're now choosing to go into their next attack.
Yeah, they get a 3-star, they'll take the lead back. It's literally being traded back and forth between these teams, and that's what it's going to have to be. If War and Glory can keep the 3 stars rolling in, then Vatang have to do the same, and it comes down to just like that last war where Space Station was down the whole war until the final attack where they tripled from P. Castro, and then Team Exo was not able to answer, and they lost the war. And it literally can be that close. So it's not over until all the attacks have been used from both sides. That was a beautiful attack from Agent. I mean, he is known for beautiful attacks just like that. It's incredible just the value that he got in terms of the lightning grabbing the queen, the multi, and then his heroes with that clan castle, the Lava Hound, perfect poison spell, and it's just a beautiful Lalo to move around.
Yeah, that's right. That was really, really nice. And I think the next attacker should be Warning, so we can expect maybe a Lalo attacker. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, they could do anything pretty much. I mean, these players at his level, they know what they're doing in terms of the air, the ground, and the question is, what does War and Glory want to build against? I mean, if you were in War and Glory's shoes as the underdogs kind of at this stage, would there be any surprises you're trying to throw in terms of base design or attacks you think you would use?
That's a hard question, to be honest. I'm not really sure, but we are seeing not the Lalo attack. We're seeing the Queen Charge Dragon Rider attack instead. And he's starting completely on the other side of the Town Hall. So, like, not like the classic approach where we see the Town Hall charge, but instead the Eagle early as a target. So that's something different.
Yeah, the Eagle kind of going down early. You don't have to worry about it hitting the rest of your troops or your heroes, which is really nice. But it's going to take its time, right? With the Headhunter clearing this king, you are taking a little bit more of a risk. Well, I wouldn't say little. A lot more of a risk if you're charging in from away from this Town Hall, where if the Town Hall doesn't go down, it can high likelihood lead to a 1-star, obviously, if you don't have your heroes or something to grab that in the end. With that Queen grabbing now with this Eagle, a Tassel Farm. Wait, Queen, you should go back in, right? Yeah, okay. Queen goes back in. There's a lot of value down here that this Queen can get.
Yeah, that's for sure, but at the same time, the multi-Inferno Tower is out of reach, and if he's not careful, he's going to have the problem of this Inferno Tower locking onto his healers. But just for that, just in case, starting with those Dragon Riders from this right side, and getting that multi-Inferno Tower out of the way, which is really nice timing. And this means the Queen can walk all the way from this bottom side to this far left side, while the Dragon Riders are going into the direction of the Town Hall. But he's waiting with the Slammer to see where exactly that is needed and where he needs to place it.
Yeah, he's being patient. He already popped that Warden Internal Tome. The Town Hall does activate, freezing it up with the single target Inferno. But Ground Skeleton's really stalling up this King, and notice he hasn't used that Stone Slammer. So, like, he wanted to make sure the Town Hall goes down before using the Stone Slammer. Is that going to hurt him? But the Town Hall does not go down. So he decides to send in the RC's ability goes off. She should clutch up the Town Hall now, but because of that timing of everything, is that going to cost him here?
Yeah, that's the big question. He's trying now to reinforce everything with that Slammer, but there's a double Black Mine catching the back end, catching the Slammer on the path towards that single Inferno Tower. And with this now, oh no, this is not looking too good with only 35 seconds left and only one Dragon Rider now from this Slammer alive. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough here. Still the poison not even deployed yet. But it seems like that, I mean, the Arch Tower is now locking onto the minions, which means time is a bigger problem. Yeah, you said it.
Yeah. With only about 15 seconds left in the raid, the Dragon Rider should be able to grab the Archer Towers. The Queen will stay alive, but he's not going to pass his way into the multi in time. There's plenty of buildings around, and this is only going to be the 2-star. And that means with a 3-star from War and Glory, they'll take the lead back in this war here. Nice try to warning, but the door is now open for War and Glory.
That's right. Even though probably there are still percentage then behind, but with the 3-star, War and Glory would take the lead in stars. I mean, at the end of the day, stars are more important than the percentage, and this could really get them back into this match. So let's see what they're coming in with, like strategy-wise. But I mean, so far both teams had their ups and downs, and this attack just right there, I think it was really showcased that we have seen so many Dragon Rider nerfs as well. Really, with those Dragon Riders, you need an incredible good charge, and just the charge on its own was not powerful enough to get those Dragon Riders to the Town Hall. Now we see the next attack, which is Shiko coming in with the Lalo and the Golem and the Yeti and a lot of lightnings.
Yeah, taking out that initial value, but the Queen barely stays up. Literally, you have one lava pup or minion just hits that Queen and down she goes. So you don't have to worry too much about her, but you will do some unnecessary, unfortunate damage to whatever moves over in terms of the Lalo by her. But the Raw Champion does clear the stuff around the Town Hall. It did not activate just yet. Now he breaks into this compartment by the multi, the Royal Champion, and the Clan Castle. But he can also get the sweeper with his Royal Champion, which is beautiful there.
Yeah, but at the same time, the King walking to the outside side, this means there's no tanking in front of that Queen, and you can really see that. So much damage on that Queen. The ability is getting forced, and the question now is he even getting one of the main targets? Is he even getting the Skitter or the multi-Inferno Tower? It doesn't look like that.
No, the multi stays up. It was the Headhunter that locked onto his Queen, stopping him, so he decides to invest a blimp with sneaky goblins in here to take the Town Hall down. But that whole top side, like you mentioned, he definitely wanted that multi-target Inferno down. Wanted probably that scatter shot in that whole compartment. And now that's going to really hurt his Lalo as he makes his way through, because that queen, she's even still alive. Hitting this hound and taking that down with the Lalo now coming through the top side. This is looking like a good defense from Sincere Prayer, because Chiku's Lalo just doesn't look like it's going to be able to take this one out.
No, there's two multi-inferno towers left alive, so that's like the big problem for Lalo. And I mean, the defending queen is alive, the scatter shot is dealing so much damage on defense, and take a look at those pups, everything chasing those balloons, and they have no chance of defending themselves. So this is not only going to be defense, but as well an incredible good percentage defense, which is completely shifting everything again into the favor of Vatang.
That means if it's Vatang 3-star, they win no matter what. But anything less than a 3-star, and War and Glory will still have a chance to win this war with their final attacker, because that's what it's going to come down to in this war. That queen finally goes down to the minion. Yes, the minions finally took that queen out, but it's looking like an 81%. But at this point, it's not going to matter percentage. All that matters is that they get a defense on the next attack from Vatang.
Yeah, that's right. He's trying to collect as many more percentage as possible, but I don't think he's getting that many more. And this is really surprisingly the big story of this tournament so far, that we have seen a lot of attacks falling really short, like really low percentages on any side, which is uncharacteristic. Like typically we see either 3-star or really high percentage 2-star, but in today's matches we have already seen like 60% 2-star, 70%. So yeah, a lot of percentage defensive attacks, which we do not typically see.
Yeah, that's the thing, is those defenses have been shining when they hold, if it's not the triple. But we have seen our fair share of some time fails as well, which have been overwhelming attacks. But if you just run out of time, it just hits you different when you're like, oh, I just need an extra like 3-4 seconds, or maybe not even, maybe I just need one more frame, one more shot from a queen or a warden to get that final building down. Because a lot of times that's what it comes down to. You've got to be keeping in the back of your mind about time, of saying, oh, gotta drop my troops now, the hero's gotta go down, then you gotta speed them up, otherwise you will run into an issue there. But with Lance Lalo, you triple, you win. If you don't, then War and Glory will have a chance. And he's saying Queen Charge Lalo is the play. And can Chiku, who just fell short in that last attack, can he defend and try to give them a chance to win this war?
Yeah, and we can see that queen walking around that corner, because there's nothing in that second row which the queen cannot reach, which could target the healers. So that's the important thing. So those healers should stay safe. Queen is getting forced inside that air defense, so he should be able to take it down. And now the question is, where is he planning to wall break? He could wall break into the Expo, he could wall break into the scatter. It seems like he wants to get into that scatter, even though the queen is barely staying alive. And there's even more wall breakers coming in.
Yeah, he does open up to the town hall, but he doesn't open up. Well, I mean, he opened up to the scatter shot, but can he get his way into the middle by the double Inferno Towers for his queen? Because that can be some fantastic value. King's going to be burning his ability, taking out the scatter shot. Town hall goes down. And now the question is, do we have a lot of red air bombs to take these healers out around the town hall, which could be absolutely trapped everywhere? But here comes Super Minions and a Headhunter. He has double poison spell to try to deal with the CC, but Tassos, the ground skeleton, Eagle as well. Oh, now the healers get locked down. Oh, that is gonna hurt his healers.
Oh no, this is like one of the worst feelings you can have. The Eagle locking onto your healers as a queen charge. This is like the worst feeling ever, and this queen is not going to last any longer. And this means the Lalo. The Lalo has to be really powerful on this far left side. The ward ability is getting perfectly timed to block the scatter shots, but the problem is the Slammer did not tank the scatter, which means those loons in the core are in between of two multi-inferno towers. This is like the worst possible place to be as a loon.
Yeah.
And this means only the outside percentages can be now collected, and this seems to be another defense.
Well, I mean, he can at least use the jump spell to jump his balloons over the walls. I mean, that's how it works, right? You gotta, unfortunately, he wanted to jump his queen somewhere into the base, but not able to get it. Lancelot, a nice try right there. These balloons are going to be getting picked off here. Red Air Bomb's taking out these minions, and it is the 2-star. Not only is it just a 2, but it's a lower percentage too in terms of a 75. Very surprising here from Lancelot. And War and Glory triples, they win. They're currently at a 72%, you see there on the right side. And Vatang's at a 78.2. They will be going up a bit here, but it's only going to be finishing to a 12-star, 94.2% for Vatang. So, War and Glory, you got to triple to win this war. Percentage would put you at a 92 if you tripled, meaning you won't be winning this war on percentage. You got to win it on stars.
Yeah, that's something which is really cool. I mean, so far we have seen a lot of matches in this tournament which had to be decided in the last match, or like the last attack. That's like the really cool thing, which is so exciting to see. Everything is laying down on this last attacker. The pressure, just like the hopes of his teammates, and that's going to be the last attacker now for War and Glory, who has to get this 3-star win, as you have said. And I mean, it's a lot of pressure. And we're looking forward to see which strategy he is going to use. And we have actually Boone coming in with the Queen George Lalo. And so far, he has the log launcher selected. That's really exciting.
Yeah, the log launcher, which can help open up the walls as he follows in with that Queen, typically is what you tend to see here. But now the Yeti's on the outside by the cannon to help kind of clear this area. Will it be able to grab the cannon? Queen's making her way around. Will she step in? There's the Rage. She's going to go off to the left. No, she doesn't. But the log launcher gets hit by this Air Expo, Itsu. He rages. No, that's supposed to be a free spell. Oh,
no. This, I mean, as you guys know, the sieges, the log launcher is not getting affected by rages. So this Rage completely wasted, unfortunately. Now the healers could even switch if he's really unlucky, because the Queen is not taking too much damage. Oh no, Yetis. Like, healers, stay with the Queen, come back, healers, no way. And this is now looking again really bad, especially with everything finishing on that Town Hall.
Yeah, that log launcher did open up the walls here, but the problem is, will the Queen make her way to it? There's that multi-target Inferno that does go down the road. Champion's ability is gonna, oh yes, it does go off, skips across, and here comes the Lalo. He decides the Lalo over the Town Hall at this point.
Yeah, the Lalo has to go through the Town Hall. The tornado trap this time is over there as well, which is even worse for him, because it's completely stalling this Lalo. He has to use the haste to get out of the Town of Poison ASAP again. Wardability covering most of those loons. And the Eagle, though, the Eagle is staying alive and firing away on those loons. And this, with the back end scatter, you can see those are so quickly taken down.
Yeah.
If you cannot protect them, and that's exactly showcased right there.
Oh man, that log launcher using the Rage instead of the Freeze. Queen going off to the right. The final wasn't set. And Boone had to triple here for War and Glory in order to win this war. But unfortunately, it's not going to be the case. Queen goes down, just has some minions and lava pups to grab a little bit more on the outside. But he knew it, that he needed a triple. And Boone, what a great effort. But it's only going to be the 80% 2-star, which means that Vatang will be advancing to the next round. And notice it was only a 12-12 war here, while the other two previous wars, the winners put up 14 stars. So this was the lowest score so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's really surprising, like, overall, the scores. We know a lot of the pro players are saying the meta is really easy. But don't get me wrong, the scores are not too low, but having, I think, so far the average around 13 stars, maybe a little bit lower because we had only 2 teams achieving those 14 stars so far. The remaining teams always were going with 12 stars so far, but either way, it means at the end, the percentage was the deciding factor. Vatang is getting into that next round for the next weekend. And War and Glory, we're going to see them later today battling for that tournament live against the team, whichever is going to lose our next match, which we're going to take a look in just a bit. But those are the statistics, Carbon. we had some
Yeah.
ups and lows for both teams, but again, a lot of nice attacks.